Yo guys, this is Ibrahim back with you with another video for Off the Canvas Boxing. Like the video, do all of that great stuff. Okay guys, let's get to 350 subs as soon as possible as well. Okay, and you know what, we'll set a like target as well. Let's get to at least 10 likes. Okay, I know it's pretty low, but you know what, let's start off at a decent level and then we'll pick it up afterwards. Okay, 10 likes, let's get that cracking. Okay, before the next video. Boom. A lot of random stuff has been going on in boxing. A few fight announcements. Let's get cracking, okay? Let's just touch upon the trivial stuff before we get onto the serious topics, okay? Floyd is out there in and I don't know where he is. He's with a couple of models. They're just lying on the bed with Kanye West, okay? Who is now currently divorced with Kim Kardashian. See, I don't know what's going on with their family. But any man that goes in doesn't come out the same way. Okay, so Floyd, like it's all man in the dunya, okay? And then we also have like Tyson Fury, another trivial topic, okay? Before we get into it, Tyson Fury still calling out AJ, still kind of rebuttaling people who are criticizing him, like Derek Chisora on Talksport, saying that AJ will beat Tyson Fury, and he's out there saying no, mate, I'll smash them, etc. I think Tyson Fury needs an intervention. Yeah, for those of you guys who don't know what I'm going on about, you know, when your family kind of has to come to you and sit you down and just say, look, we're really concerned about what's happening. You know, we're seeing a few videos and you're moving kind of out of character. I think that's exactly what has happened with Tyson Fury. Let me know which current or even prehistoric fighters, okay, I'm saying prehistoric out there, some sort of some artifacts, okay, but which current or historical boxers do you think would be great to sit down with Tyson Fury? It could, it could even be promoters or whatever. Could sit down with Tyson Fury and try to do an intervention. If you had 3 people to kind of console him, who would you have? Okay, because I don't know who I would have. I'll probably have like Ben Davidson. Willie Joe Saunders is the type of guy to. He's the friend that your parents say stay away from, so he's definitely not one of them. But you get the gist, okay? If you guys have any, I'm struggling to think of any names. I'll probably think about it before the next video. But any names, put it in the description box below. Okay, now to the serious topics. We have some new news. Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano. This is according to Mike Covington, who, let's face it, he's been getting it wrong over the last couple of days with the Charlo and the Canelo scenario, but right now we're just going off scrap, so it is what it is. Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano for the undisputed WBA, WBC, IBF and WBO lightweight world titles reportedly could take place on the April 30th at MSG. Eddie Hearn has confirmed that contracts are now being finalized. Okay, really can't wait for this. Okay, like arguably this is one of the best, or even the biggest female boxing event of all time. I can probably categorically say that based on the status of Katie Taylor, how big she is, especially to the Irish community, and Amanda Serrano, and how talented she is. For me, this is arguably the biggest female boxing event of all time. And who do I think will win? I think it's going to be a very, very close fight, because I think Katie Taylor at her best probably could have won. Just about one, but Katie Taylor, for me, is on a gradual decline. And how far down that sort of slope is she? And is Amanda Serrano kind of improving to a level that she could beat Katie Taylor? I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure. It's a 50-50 toss-up. You see, with women boxers, right? They fight 2-minute rounds, and the rounds go and the fight goes so quickly that it's very difficult to judge and it's very difficult to score. So, hopefully it'll be a great fight, a great cracking event at the MSG. Hopefully it'll be a good undercard as well. Can't believe Jake Paul is involved in this. Crazy, okay? But you know what it is? I could care less. I just want the biggest fights and the best fights to be presented. I don't care if it's bloody Ariana Grande promoting an event in boxing with 2, guys who like to slugfest in the ring. I could care less, okay? I could care flipping, Robert Downey Jr. decides to do a big, big British dust up in the UK. Couldn't care less. So long as the fight is scheduled, the fight happens, I'm all for it. Okay. Moving swiftly on, another fight that's just been announced is the Chris Eubank Jr. versus Liam Williams. Okay, we're looking at around February the 5th in Cardiff. So this one should be a great event. I think Clarissa Shields is potentially fighting on this card as well. So it should be a good event. Okay, Boxer. I think this will probably be their first ever event in the UK, other than the ESPN kind of stuff. But actual Boxer UK fighters, this will probably be their first one of the year. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it, because these guys are not here to play no games. These guys are solid. These guys are, I would say, have the potential to really rival Eddie Hearn and Matchroom. Okay, and I was really thinking that they were going to do that this year, but then as well, Frank Warren and BT Sport are being bought by DAZN, so that made slight delays throughout the year. So but this should be a good fight. Chris Eubank, for me, he needs to improve, man. I'm not really impressed with his training camp with Roy Jones Jr. Is Roy Jones Jr. as good of a trainer as he is a fighter? We'll have to wait and see. We're gonna really have to wait and see, because it's not a great start to his coaching career. Okay, Chris Eubank just looks confused. He looks like he's in and out of styles. He's all over the place. Okay, Liam Williams, although he's coming off a loss, he's kind of a loss against Andrade, who's a solid middleweight. Okay, a world-class middleweight, a title holder. So it should be a good fight. Who do I think will win? I'm leaning slightly towards Liam Williams, but closer towards the fight, we'll kind of break it down and give my honest prediction, what rounds, etc., how this fight could go, and I'll let you guys know in the next sort of couple of weeks. Okay, that's when the fight is, reported to take place. Next, okay, we've got new announcements. I'm liking this kind of stuff. Okay, I'm really liking this stuff, because I'd prefer getting fight announcements over this whole Tyson Fury and Twitter, flapping gum scenario. So we've got some new announcements. Eddie Hearn has revealed that they've now received an approach to stage Devin Haney versus Kambosos Jr. fight. Thank goodness. Okay, for undisputed. So basically all the belts for being undisputed. Okay. In the Middle East, though, I believe they're close to getting a firm offer. Okay. How do I feel about this? George Kambosos Jr. Every time I've seen him, look, he's been adamant on just one thing, and he wants that fight to take place in Australia. His next fight is against a big name in Australia. Now, the Middle East, although it's to be a very lucrative offer, this is the fine difference between money and where your heart is at. Because I know his heart will be in Australia, but the money is so lucrative with these dons, these Middle Eastern dons. Yeah, their money is so long that it can change the way you feel. Put it that way. You'll be like, oh yeah, Australia, I want it Australia, but now all of a sudden his feelings have changed. So we'll wait and see in regards to that. But hopefully it's Devin Haney next. I don't want no Lomachenko. I don't want no Tank Davis. I want Devin Haney next, so that you can officially make the undisputed. Okay, and then from there you can then persist in fighting Lomachenko, Gervonta Tank Davis. Although I don't think he's probably gonna fight them, to be honest with you. Sometime end of this year. Okay, that's regarding the lightweight division. Okay, and we'll end on the heavyweight scene. Tony Yoka has now officially accepted the fight with Filip Hrgovic as an IBF final eliminator. According to Hrgovic's co-promoter Kalle Sauerland, winner will become Alexander Usyk's next IBF mandatory challenger. Okay, big up Michael Benson as well for giving us information as well. And you know what? Also credit to Michael Benson for writing it in a very clear way. Because over the last couple of weeks, I've been reading some of these reports, and it's not like, some of the times I'm just reading it, I'm just feeling like it's not really grammatically, it's all over the place. And this one, you're gonna have to give props to the likes of Tony Yoka. Tony Yoka is brave enough to accept the fight. We've gone through Luis Ortiz, we've gone through Joseph Parker, and both of them have rejected that fight. I think Joseph Parker is now outside of the top. I would say outside of the top 10. I think he's out of the top 10 on the IBF. I don't know why, but he's outside of the top 10 in the IBF. And Luis Ortiz is still number one. He's number one challenger. Not Hrgovic, but you know what? I'm here for this fight. It's a very good fight. Both, I would say, up and coming prospects in the heavyweight scene in terms of trying to. They've not had a lot of experience. I think Hrgovic has had, 16 to 18 fights. Tony Yoka, I think he's had like less than that. He's had less than 15 fights, something along those lines. French fighter. I'm really here for this, and you know what? I really hope this happens in somewhere like France, whereby I can see sort of next crop of talent in France, and then maybe you can have like a Sissoko there. I'm here for it. Okay. Who do I think is going to be between Tony Yoka and Hrgovic? It's tough because I think both of them are very untested, and this is where it's a case where the winner of this fight can really push on. Whoever wins this fight will be next in line for the Alexander Usyk fight. Now, because there's an IBF fight a little bit later, AJ just kind of done the mandatory for Kubrat Pulev. So realistically, I'm going to be honest with you, AJ or Usyk is going to fight the next fight together. Whoever wins will probably fight for the undisputed fight towards the back end of the year, provided that Tyson Fury isn't elevated to franchise champion, okay, which is it is a big possibility, but purse bids is in the next 5-6 days or something along those lines, so we're gonna have to wait and see what goes into that one, okay. After this year, I think probably in 2023, next year, the WBO mandatory will be called, even though Usyk just fought, but these are scumbags, okay, so they're probably going to push it all through and try to speed things up a bit. The WBA will be called probably first, and the mandatory for that one is looking potentially either between Trevor Bryan and Daniel Dubois, and the IBF one will probably be straight after that with the winner of Tony Yoka versus Hrgovic, okay. And you know what? I'm here for it. I'm really, really here for it. I'm glad that we're getting some sort of movement, some announcements. I'm here for it, okay? Thank you very much, guys, for watching this video. That's all I have for you guys today. But thank you, peace, love, and prosperity. I'm going to see you guys in a bit. Peace.